My dear child, I need you to pause for just a moment, and really feel this message, sink deep into your spirit. What you're hearing now isn't to frighten you, but to shield you. This isn't random, and it isn't imagination. I've been trying to get this through to you, but you've been overwhelmed, distracted, or quietly hurting too much to notice. And now Archangel Michael has stood patiently for over 2 hours, waiting for this moment, to speak directly into your life. He's been watching, pacing, preparing, because what must be said, can't be delayed anymore. Listen with intention. This is not a story. A private investigator has been caught, and what he was caught doing directly involves you. Yes, you. Someone handed over money, someone gave specific directions, someone has been keeping an eye on your life, silently from the sidelines. No, this isn't criminal, it's deeper. It's about obsession, unanswered questions, hidden motives. This person wanted to know parts of you, they were too afraid to ask about directly. While you've been living your life unaware, there were eyes watching, that never looked away, not for danger, but for understanding. They sought answers, not from your smile, but from your silence. This truth was never supposed to reach you. But I, your Creator, uncover what has long been hidden, when the appointed time comes. That time is now. What you're about to experience might feel like fiction, but it's not, it's your real life unfolding, with a weight even heaven has leaned into. The investigator wasn't a stranger to the unseen, he once turned away from the divine, he once used his insight, to expose wounds in others. But when he entered your life, something inside him shifted. He witnessed purity, he encountered prayers, he saw silent suffering, that no one else knew about. Instead of sending a report, he had a revelation. He walked away from the job, then he came to us, he came to heaven. That's when Michael was called. And for hours now, Michael has been gently trying to get through to you, nudging your heart, tapping at the wall you've built from pain and past betrayal. But now that you've opened this message, the wall is beginning to crumble. Not by force, but through revelation. Beloved one, pause right here, let your spirit exhale. And if you're watching this, press that subscribe button. Don't miss the next message, sent for your protection, your promise, your breakthrough. Turn the bell on too. The next insight is closer than you know. Now let's go deeper. The person who hired this investigator didn't begin with harmful intent. It began with longing, with confusion, with fear of your silence. Instead of asking, they made a move that felt safer for them, but not for you. And now they carry regret. They know they crossed into spiritual territory they had no right to enter. And now heaven's attention is on them. You might feel betrayed hearing this, but let me remind you of something you've forgotten. You are guarded, not just in your body, but in your spirit, in your emotions, in your energy. That's why the investigator confessed, that's why Michael intervened, that's why you're hearing this message right now. You are surrounded by divine light, and no tactic formed against you will succeed. Even when you felt abandoned, even when I was silent, and your nights were drenched in tears, I was weaving this truth, to rise up like this. Someone is about to step forward. They'll admit what happened. Don't panic, they're not coming in anger. They're coming with guilt. They believed they had lost you, they panicked, and in their desperation, they made a spiritual misstep, they now wish they hadn't taken. But your heart has been refined by my hand, for something more sacred. You're being asked now, to listen with your soul, not your wounds. This moment will shake you, but it will not shatter you. I won't let that happen. You were never made to be someone's investigation, you were created to be someone's awakening. Yes, they will confess, not because they were caught, but because your presence undid them. Even when they sent someone to uncover your truth, your light reached them instead. Take another deep breath, I am still speaking. Let's keep going. What I'm revealing to you now is not fiction, it's not some distant illusion, it's a spiritual truth, unfolding in real time. You don't need to understand every word right now, just keep your heart open, and feel it resonate. The investigator, the one who was caught, experienced a shift when he saw a photo, a quiet image of you, alone, unaware. He saw your eyes, no words, no explanation, just your presence. And something in your gaze unsettled him. He described it as if a prayer was looking straight into him. That image wouldn't leave his mind, it disturbed his sleep. He thought he could separate work from spirit. But what he didn't understand was that your essence carries my presence. That's why you leave people unsettled, that's why they think they can forget you, but can't. That's why even the ones who walk away, always find themselves circling back. You carry my mark. That man was paid for information, but instead, he discovered something invaluable, your spirit. Right now, Archangel Michael is beside you, wrapping your surroundings in divine light. Not only to protect, but to uncover. This isn't just about secrets, it's about the reason heaven has stepped in. You're entering a chapter, where deception cannot live. Secrets are crumbling, whispers are being silenced, every trap is being turned over, because you are rising. And you've felt this coming, haven't you? The unusual dreams, the strange energy, the people responding to you in unfamiliar ways, drawn in, or pushing back. That's not confusion, it's alignment. What was once hidden in the spirit, is spilling into the natural. A storm has passed, and behind that storm, a door has appeared. Someone who once closed it on you, is circling back now, hesitant, trembling. But you won't meet them with fear, you'll meet them with clarity. Think back. Remember the times your silence was misjudged, when your calmness was labeled cold, when your presence was too deep for shallow hearts. That's why. You were never meant to be ordinary, your peace unsettles those who are still fractured. The one who hired that search into your life, they couldn't handle who you became after they left. They thought you'd break, instead you burned brighter. When they walked away, they assumed you'd fall apart. But you didn't, you rebuilt privately with me, with prayers in the dark. You didn't come here because you're weak, you came because your spirit recognized my voice. And now your moment is arriving. One last thing, the investigator left behind a message. He didn't give it to the one who hired him, he left it at a spiritual space, unsigned. The note read, "The person you're trying to expose has no secrets, but you do, stop before heaven intervenes." That's when I whispered to Michael, "Stand by. When my child opens their spirit, speak." And now you're hearing this, and Michael is speaking. If your spirit feels this, do not walk away halfway. Click subscribe, follow. This isn't entertainment, it's direction. These messages are heavenly updates for your path. You've missed divine signs before, don't miss the next. Turn all notifications on. Heaven is speaking clearly, loudly, lovingly. Let me speak this softly into you now, forgive them. Even the one who invaded your space, the one who looked from afar, instead of standing face to face. Because I'm doing something sacred in your story, something that demands a clean heart. I'm crafting a return that will surprise every doubter who thought they understood your path. And it's not just one person, others are watching, and not all of them clap when you win. Not every smile means support, not every question is concern. But that's not your burden. I'm clearing your lane, I'm silencing false energy, I'm unveiling agendas, I'm closing spiritual windows, where others tried to peek into your destiny. They are not your authors, they don't write your future, I do. Over the coming days, you might receive a message, an apology, an awkward "can we talk?" It might come from a stranger's number, or from someone who once felt familiar. When it comes, pause. Don't respond with woundedness, respond with wisdom. You've got nothing to hide, nothing to prove. Truth is finally fighting for you. And child, this is only the beginning. This moment isn't random, it's aligned with something you once whispered in prayer, maybe even a prayer you forgot you prayed. This was a wake-up call for your soul, to stop shrinking, stop settling, and stop silencing what you've always felt. Heaven isn't just pointing things out to hurt you, heaven is awakening you to free you. Because you cannot heal what you're still pretending isn't hurting you. You cannot rise, while carrying weight that was never yours to bear. You were never meant to carry betrayal in silence, to carry the burden of being misunderstood, watched, studied, or doubted. You were meant to walk in truth, and that truth is being handed to you right now, like a divine key, unlocking what's been stuck for too long. You see, the person who sent someone to monitor you, they weren't looking for drama. Deep down, they were looking for answers to the unrest within them. They thought the disruption in their spirit came from you, but now they see it was never about you at all. It was about the parts of themselves they couldn't face. And somehow your existence, your peace, your light, made them face the shadows they had long ignored. You are not just a mirror, you are a movement. Your life is a sacred unfolding, that reveals what's real, what's fake, and what needs to change. That's why the enemy couldn't take you out, even when you didn't know you were being targeted. And now, child, heaven is not just defending you, heaven is restoring you. Heaven is lifting you into the version of yourself that you buried beneath fear, people-pleasing, and survival mode. You're not surviving anymore, you're about to start thriving. You're stepping into rooms, prepared by grace, not manipulation. You're receiving blessings, not based on what others tried to gather about you, but based on what heaven always knew about you, that you are chosen, protected, and full of divine purpose. Listen closely now, because in the days to come, you may feel emotional waves rising. Let them rise, let the tears fall if they come. You're not falling apart, you're shedding old layers, that no longer serve the new season being formed around you. It will feel strange, like you're stepping out of someone else's skin. That's because you're stepping out of the version of you that tolerated being misunderstood, stepped over, or surveilled. You are stepping into sovereignty, clarity, and spiritual discernment. Let your body rest, let your spirit speak. Don't rush these next few days, they are sacred, they are aligned. You are walking into timelines that your prayers built in silence, even when you thought no one was listening. But we were listening, I was listening. Every whispered cry, every quiet surrender, every exhausted help me, didn't fall on deaf ears. The angels caught every word, Archangel Michael stood guard, every night you fell asleep worried. And now the shift has begun, the unraveling has started, not of your peace, but of every force that dared to disturb it. There will be signs, unmistakable signs. You may overhear a name, you may dream something vivid, you may feel your spirit press pause on a decision you were about to make. Honor those moments, they are heaven's way of speaking without shouting. Your discernment is sharpening now, your intuition is no longer whispering, it's roaring in wisdom. This is not paranoia, this is divine perception, you are not imagining things, you are awakening to them. And the one who once sought to know you in secret, they are now being known themselves, not in exposure for shame, but in exposure for redemption. They may never admit it out loud, but your energy changed them. Your presence confronted the parts of them that feared the light. And now they are left with a choice, continue running from the truth, or return to it with humility. That choice is theirs, your responsibility is no longer to explain, defend, or react. Your responsibility is to keep rising. You may feel moments of hesitation, wondering, am I doing the right thing? Let me tell you, yes, yes you are. Even if it feels lonely, even if it feels unfamiliar. You are no longer walking the path of comfort, you're walking the path of calling. And that path will stretch you, but it will also save you. You don't need everyone to understand your growth, you just need to honor it. Because the path you're on now wasn't built by approval, it was built by obedience. The story that started in secret will end in glory. Not public humiliation, but divine promotion. Not revenge, but revelation. Not punishment, but peace. Because you are not the one who needs to get even, you are the one who needs to keep evolving. Let heaven handle the rest, let the truth work in silence, where it does its deepest healing. The ones who underestimated you will have no choice but to watch you transform. Not in bitterness, but in brilliance. Not in anger, but in authority. Not in reaction, but in reverence for the force of light you carry. Because when heaven breathes on a person's name, no force in hell can bury it. Your name is being honored now, not by man's hands, but by God's hand. So when you feel the old triggers rise, when you feel the temptation to prove your worth, to those who never saw it, pause, breathe. Remember who you are now. You're not who you used to be. You don't need to defend yourself, when God is doing it for you, in ways you cannot see. Walk quietly if you must, but walk confidently. Trust that each step is guided, trust that even the delays were divine protection. And above all, trust that your presence is powerful, not because of who watches you, but because of who walks with you. There's more unfolding than you realize. Conversations are happening about you right now, conversations that are aligning resources, opportunities, and divine alignments. People who don't even know you deeply are being drawn to help you. Not because of what they've heard, but because of what they feel in your energy. That's divine favor, that's spiritual credibility, that's what happens when heaven puts its seal on your name. And now, beloved, take this message to heart, not just with your mind, but with your spirit. Let it soak into the spaces you've kept hidden. Let it comfort the parts of you that still flinch when you hear footsteps in your memories. Let it remind you that the shadows you once feared are now afraid of your light. You are no longer the one being observed, you are the one being exalted. Stand tall in your truth, stay soft in your heart. Let your peace become your protest, let your growth be your answer. And above all, stay ready. Because this isn't just a breakthrough, it's a rebirth. And your name, child, is already echoing in rooms you haven't walked into yet, but you will. Soon, very soon. A new way of seeing your story, your scars, your strength. This isn't just about survival anymore, this is about sacred identity. For so long you measured yourself by the pain you've endured, by the people who left, by the doors that closed. But I'm teaching you now, to see yourself through my eyes, radiant, whole, wise, and rising. I never defined you by your suffering, I always defined you by your resilience, by your capacity to still love, still hope, still rise, even when no one clapped, even when no one stayed. You didn't break when they tried to break you, you didn't shrink when they tried to study you. You stayed kind in a world that kept trying to harden you, and that, my child, is why heaven keeps choosing you. I'm not just restoring what was stolen, I'm transforming what's left. You are not the same person you were when this began, and that's the point. You've evolved, you've matured, you've grown into your anointing. And now you're ready for things your former self wouldn't have had the capacity to carry. So don't question what starts showing up now. The blessings, the opportunities, the people who suddenly treat you with respect, the rooms that open with no explanation, it's not random. It's the reflection of the internal work you've done in silence, the healing you embraced when no one saw, the obedience to divine nudges, when logic told you to quit. Heaven watched it all, and now heaven is rewarding it all. And yes, there will be moments of tension. Not everyone will understand how quickly your life is changing. Some will whisper, some will wonder, some will walk away. Let them, because elevation always exposes what can't go with you. Let me do the sorting, let me do the pruning. You focus on staying aligned, you focus on staying grateful, you focus on protecting your peace. Because your peace is your power now. The one who sent the investigator, the one who wanted answers about you, is being answered by me. Not with words, but with revelation. They are seeing now that what they tried to investigate cannot be studied, only experienced. You are not a mystery to be solved, you are a miracle to be witnessed. And miracles don't make sense, they shift realities. That's what you're doing, quietly, boldly, with grace, shifting the atmosphere of every space you enter, even the ones who didn't think they needed it. And the one who did the watching, the silent observer, they've changed. They thought they were gathering information, but instead, they were being gathered by conviction. You've awakened something in them, not through confrontation, but through compassion. That's what makes you different, you don't need to fight to be seen, you don't need to scream to be heard. Your presence alone rearranges the room, your light alone silences lies. This season is not about proving yourself, it's about receiving. Receiving the truth of who you've always been, receiving the support that's been waiting to find you, receiving the love that doesn't hide behind confusion or manipulation. Real love, divine love, honest love. That's what's coming, that's what I'm aligning you for. You've poured into others, now I'm pouring into you. So don't shrink back, don't question why it's happening now. Don't delay your joy, trying to understand what only heaven could orchestrate. You are walking into a divine setup. One that turns past pain into present power, one that rewrites every narrative they tried to place on you, one that leaves no doubt that you are exactly who I say you are, chosen, guided, anointed. Let the ones who once doubted you sit in silence as they witness your rise. Let the ones who once tried to expose you be exposed to their own reflection. Because I'm not just clearing your name, I'm exalting it. Not for vanity, but for victory, not to impress, but to inspire. There are people who will believe in me, because of what they see me doing in you. That's how deep this calling goes, that's how sacred your story is. So keep walking, keep trusting, keep preparing. Because the pace is about to pick up. The answers are coming faster, the breakthroughs are getting bigger, the protection is getting stronger. Michael is still with you, still standing watch, still clearing paths you don't even know exist yet. You don't need to strategize every step, just stay in alignment, just stay in surrender. And when the next strange moment happens, the unexpected phone call, the divine connection, the eerie confirmation, that feels too specific to ignore, don't brush it off. Say that's God, say it with boldness, say it with certainty, say it with gratitude. Because heaven is not just speaking anymore, heaven is moving. This is the shift, this is the moment, the turning point you've been praying for, weeping for, waiting for, it's here. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. And though it may still feel surreal, let your spirit confirm it, before your logic catches up. You don't need every detail to believe, you just need this peace. The peace you feel right now, as my words wrap around your soul, that's the sign. This story is still unfolding, the message is still being written, the watchers are still watching, but now they watch in awe. Not of what you've done, but of what I'm doing through you. The divine hand over your life is undeniable, and anyone paying attention will know you are not ordinary, you are marked. Let them see it, let them feel it, let them wonder. And while they do, you keep walking forward in quiet confidence. Because your footsteps are ordered, your timing is blessed, and your future is guarded. And before you close your eyes tonight, I want you to remember this, your obedience opened a portal. Not just to blessings you can touch, but to healing you didn't even know you needed. You're not just being restored, you're being rebuilt. The walls the enemy tried to tear down in you, your trust, your faith, your fire, they're being rebuilt stronger than ever, and this time they're made of stone that cannot crack. You will not be shaken, you will not be broken, you will not be moved. Because I have re-established your foundation in me. The cracks that once let in fear, have now been sealed by truth. The doubts that once whispered in your ears, have been drowned out by my voice. And the fear of being unseen, forgotten or unloved, it's been replaced by the assurance, that heaven has its eyes on you, always has, always will. And child, about that person who watched from the shadows, they were never just watching you, they were witnessing me. They thought they were observing your weakness, but what they saw instead was my strength rising in you. They came with questions, but left with conviction. Because I used your life like a sermon, they didn't expect to hear. A sermon not made of words, but of grace, of resilience, of love, that kept showing up, even when it wasn't returned. They saw the glory in your grief, the worship in your wounds, the light in your loneliness. And that shook them, and it saved them. You won't always see the harvest of what you've planted, but know this, your seeds of light didn't fall on empty ground. They pierced hearts, they softened stone, they awakened sleeping spirits. And that is why you had to walk this path. You were never just surviving, you were sowing. And now harvest time is here. Your reward is not coming, it has already begun. Heaven is moving on your behalf, even as you sit in stillness. Angels are rearranging things, behind doors you thought were locked forever. Phone calls open doors, new names entering your life, get ready, because it's happening, suddenly, swiftly, supernaturally. You won't have to strive, you won't have to beg, you won't have to explain how you got here. Favor doesn't need a justification. When I lift you, no one can pull you down. And I'm not lifting you for applause, I'm lifting you for purpose, for impact, for influence that heals, for conversations that shift atmospheres, for love that changes generations. Because what I'm doing in you is not just for you, it's for your children, for your bloodline, for every person who's been silently watching, wondering if I was real. And through you, they'll see the answer, yes, I am real, I am faithful, I am love, I am near. Now hear me, really hear me. Rest doesn't mean giving up, rest means trusting that I'm still working, even when you're not. It means letting go of outcomes, and letting me surprise you with better. It means releasing your grip, and watching my hand move, in ways no plan could predict. And right now, I need you to enter that rest, not later, now. Close the chapter of fear, turn the page of doubt, and step fully into the story I've written, with your name on every line. This next season requires a new rhythm. A rhythm of peace, a rhythm of grace, a rhythm of trust. That's why things are slowing down around you, not because you're behind, but because I'm preparing the stage, for something sacred. And child, when it arrives, when the answer comes, when the connection clicks, when the door swings wide, remember to praise, not panic. Remember to dance, not doubt. Remember to breathe, not brace for the worst. Because this is not the season of pain returning, this is the season of promises fulfilled. Your tears have watered the soil, your prayers have pulled heaven down, your yes has created a shift in the atmosphere around you. So don't worry if you feel emotional, don't resist the tears that come out of nowhere. That's just your spirit recognizing that something sacred is happening. You're stepping into destiny, you're no longer waiting for the miracle, you are the miracle. And as I tuck you into the peace of this moment, know that heaven has already responded. Before you even finish speaking, I've begun the release. The scrolls have been opened, the oil is being poured, the weight is lifting, and the fire in you is reigniting. So tonight, child, smile. Not because everything is perfect, but because you finally understand that everything is possible. You know now that you are chosen, you are not hidden, you are not behind, you are becoming, and nothing can stop what I've already set in motion. Lay your head down without fear, you are covered, you are surrounded, you are sealed by light. Michael stands at your door, sword drawn, wings wide. No weapon formed against you will prosper, not now, not ever again. The night has turned, the tide has shifted, and the page has turned. And this chapter is called glory. Amen.